Hey guys, JD here. I figure I wanted to make a quick video as I'm reviewing yesterday's activity and just basically wanted to see what happened because I was not home for a big portion of the day and just wanted to see how it played out and just to see how the levels behave and also to see how the analysis and the information that I gave you worked out. So yesterday, I told you that we were going to recycle uh, the ES uh, plan just because I didn't see significant uh, changes from the previous session to yesterday's session. So if you're reading here, this was my message at 9:12, and it says that we would recycle ES plan. ES closed with a spike to the downside yesterday. Yes, downside. Yesterday's RTH low. Last trade day of the year, so stay away from the NQ. But the levels for the NQ are still active. So when I said that the ES closed with a spike to the downside yesterday, what I meant was basically this purple candle right here in my indicator, uh, which is I call this one JD's visual market profile. You'll be able to see this RTH only chart. You'll be able to see that this purple candle indicates a downside spike, as opposed as the yellow candle indicates a spike to the upside. So here we have the spike right here, which is this green session here. My apologies. It's not the green session. This one was the next one to the other side. This was the upside spike. This little one here is the downside spike. So let me move that to here. So that zone will have been from 27. The low of this candle was 28, and the low of this candle was 28, and the low of this candle was 30. So the zone should have been 30 and a half to 28, which you see highlighted in here. Let me make sure I got 28 to be exact and 30 and a half to be exact. It's one tick higher. Then we have this spike here. That was our most recent spike to the upside. The high of this candle was 35 and a half. So I have it at 35 and a half exact. And the low of, or the high of this candle was uh, 35. So it was just basically a half a point spike. But it's a spike nonetheless. Okay. So at 35 is there. When you look at the day before plan, um, so I'm going to paste the plan over here. For those that don't know, we operate on a 2.5 point zone. So if I give you 37, that will cover from 30, 34 and a half to 37. That's the downside portion of that. If I give you 37, it will go to 39 and a half, which we go basically to this area here, which is last session high, pretty much. But anyways, that's just the way I look at it. It's a 5 point zone. Every level is a five point zone. But when you have a narrow range in the ES, 5 point zone seems like an eternity. So we open here at 9:30. This is our opening bar here. You can see right here 9:30. Okay, so we open at 9:30, and the opening was 48.2850, which is uh half a point above the previous day low. This is last session low right here, last session high. So it's just a half a point above it. And that was, in my opinion, to create confusion as of, hey, definitely if we're above yesterday's low, I'm going to take a long here, which it was fine. If I tell you that the pivot was 48.30, which is right here, 48.30. That's fine. That's the 28 and a half falls into the zone once again. So you could have taken along here, and from here to the high of that candle here was 35. So that's a solid 7 points or 6 points, whatever the case may be. What I want you to focus on is where did the price go to? And as you can see, the price went into the spike here. Uh, Trading below the spike is resistance. Trading above the spike means support. It just happens that we open inside the spike and we went and touch the previous spike in here just to see if it was going to find acceptance or not. And from there, we just collapse. Uh, this candle came back down here, and found some buying activity, and it took it all the way up here. But what happened was, when you take a look at the high of this candle, it was 48.3350. This one was 48.35. So we have a tick and a half of excess. I would have loved to see maybe like two or three more ticks. And then from there, when this candle opened, it went back up and it touched it. Once we get the 11 o'clock candle to open here, uh, we basically have a great opportunity to either, you know, go long again or go short. I don't know what your preference was. Well, my preference yesterday was to play to the downside, and I posted that in the channel that I was looking to sell NQ was 17,110. So that never came. I think NQ got to 17,007. We'll look at the NQ in a few minutes. But the moment that we got below the open here, will basically are below the spike, which is resistance here. Now this spike here also becomes resistance. And yes, I know we're looking at a 30-minute candle, so it can be a little bit more confusing. But when you look at the smaller time frame for execution purposes, and we'll take a look at what could have someone done in this particular scenario. So let's take a look at a 2-minute chart here and see what that shows. When you look at the ES in this particular 2-minute chart, we're going to talk about that area. So this area here is the area that we're talking about. When it got to 35 over here, it came back and it just basically cut below. That's pivot area, which was 48.30 yesterday. This area right here, 48.30. Um, the moment that you get some sort of confirmation, obviously this candle rejected here, and the moment that you get some sort of confirmation below this area here is your trigger, because this was the last session low. It came back, and you can see how it went all the way down, found buyers, went back up in here, and then it just touched again. If we were looking at pivot 48.30, and I tell you that you have to look at 2.5 points below, so that's 27 and a half. 27 and a half to you know 32 and a half. And I know this is a big area, guys, but I apologize for that, but I don't make the ranges in the ES. It's the market generates that. So this will have been the zone to the downside here, and the moment we broke below this area here, this is a 2 minute chart. We came back into here. This area came back up inside the zone, and here we got uh sellers coming in here. This candle closed right here. This one open. Uh, and then what we got here is a retest of the previous session low, which is this right here. And this will have been the trigger for a short. The stop for here, it would just have been probably just a couple of ticks above 30. So you're risking 2 3 points. Um, so this is what I'm looking at. You know, a short trade from here, and um, it just got all the way down to the zone here, 41. Um, and we say that the first target was 20 uh, from there. So this would have been a nice 7 8 point trade to here. Uh, it just kept going. Let's just say that um, you got out in this zone here, 15 or whatever the case may be. But the next target that we have down was oh 08. And you can see how when we got to oh 08 here, that was a T2. It just definitely bounced up a little bit. And then from there, it just kept going down. And it got into the 96 and the 97. So why 96, 97? So I want to take you back to the other chart. So you see the oh 08. I was looking for 92. So why 92? Why 96 or 97? Well, let's take a look in here. In this area here, we close with a spike here, and the high of this candle was 98.25. So let me be precise, 98.25, and the low, it will have been the high of the previous high, which is this candle right here. The candle right here was high 92 and a half. So 92 and a half. That's exactly where we got it. 92 and a half. So you can see when price was coming down from here, looking at a 30 minute. So you're looking at this 30 minute candle. I show you the how did that candle looked in a 2 minute chart. Um, but we're gonna focus on, obviously our pivot here, and 30 was the key level. Confirmation was below 28. So another thing that I wanted to show you is that when we open on Monday at 9:30 a.m. On Monday, which is the U.S. session. Oh, Monday we were closed, so it would be weekly open. We'll have in Tuesday. Tuesday we have our weekly open, obviously right around here, 14. So Monday we did have obviously the Sunday open, and it was 4,800. Anyway, going back to this, why? Yeah, I can show you if I go here and I switch this over to ETH hours. You're gonna see that Monday, the opening on Monday was Monday actually Sunday opening at 6 o'clock. If I want to show ETH, why is it that I'm not seeing Sunday here? I believe the market was closing Sunday, I guess. Yeah, whatever. Let me switch back to RTH hours. Sorry for that. I just bouncing back and forth. Shouldn't even attempt to do that. But anyways, What I want to show you is that price actually came all the way back down and it got to the spike zone. Got to the spike here. I carried these zones. The reasons why I got this indicator coded is because I wanted to see where the spikes are, and a simple, I don't want the zones to be marked because I had way too many zones here. But I like to see, uh, where everything is, and I just go and I look at a candle. If it's purple, I know it's a spike to the downside. If it's yellow, then it's a spike to the upside. Look at here. We have a trade triggering from here. And then we go back over this way and look what it came down to. It came down to that spike. And from here, obviously, found buyers. And then got all the way back up into the single print. This was a single print. It didn't fill it, but my expectation was getting to 41.20, which is right here, which was our T1 below pivot. And we got all the way up to 23. So that's basically what I saw in the ES yesterday. And, you know, spikes are very important. And the reasons why we kept trying to fade this, it was because, look at the size of this candle here. Look at the size of this candle. Look at the size of this candle. It gets a little bit smaller because it's running out of steam. Now, let me just give you another piece of information that I probably did not give you. If I go to the profile here and I draw value profile for this area here, right? Let me just make it 2 ticks. Let me zoom out on this. This was the previous day profile, RTH. Look where the POC was, 35.75, just slightly above the top of the spike. Look where price got to, 35, which is basically the bottom of the spike. So this would have been a beautiful, beautiful trade with a stops above 37. Obviously, that was T1 to the upside. That's the reasons why 37 was there. If you look at 37, was T1. And I believe I had told you the day before that all levels were in play. The reasons for that is because of the small range. So here we are. We just hit that area here, came all the way back down, attacked the top of the spike here, bounce back up into this single print. And for next week, we'll see what the market gives us. But we have another spike here that it was tested before, not completely to the all the way to the bottom, but it was tested. But nonetheless, we have a very unique opportunity, and obviously, it's very important for us to execute from the good spots, and the good spots are basically generated by our plan. So hopefully, you learn something about this analysis, and I'll see you later with the weekly plan. Bye bye. Take care.